Dija Okonkwo's wedding night was nothing like she'd imagined. 3 identical Korean men stood before her in the dimly lit bedroom, their eyes dark with promises she didn't understand. "We will worship you tonight," the one in the center said, his voice like silk over steel. Dija's heart hammered against her ribs. She'd signed the contract. Agreed to marry all 3 of them to save her family from complete ruin. But nothing in that legal document had prepared her for this moment, for the intensity in their gazes, for the way her body responded despite her fear. "I don't understand," she whispered, pressing herself against the door. "You said this was a business arrangement." "It is," the twin on the left said, stepping closer. "But business doesn't mean we can't explore certain connections." Before we continue with Dija's story, beautiful people, please hit that subscribe button. You're about to witness something absolutely extraordinary, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Your support means everything as we bring you these powerful stories daily. Now, back to Dija's wedding night. 24 hours earlier, Dija had been sitting in her father's hospital room in Lagos, watching machines keep him alive while debt collectors circled like vultures. Medical bills from his stroke had destroyed them. Her mother's fabric shop couldn't cover it. Their family home was being seized. Her younger sister's university fees were unpaid. They were drowning, and Dija was the only one who could swim. Miss Okonkwo, the lawyer, had appeared like a miracle or a devil, she still wasn't sure which. "I represent the Park family. They have a proposition for you." The proposition was insane. Marry 3 brothers, Korean business heirs who needed a wife to satisfy their traditional grandmother's dying wish. 1 year of marriage, complete discretion, and in exchange all her family's debts paid, her father's medical care covered indefinitely, her sister's education funded, and $500,000 for herself when the year ended. "Why me?" Dija had asked, suspicious of anything that seemed too good to be true. "You fit their requirements," the lawyer said simply. 25 years old, unmarried, no criminal record, financially desperate enough to agree, and he'd paused, inexperienced. Heat had flooded Dija's face. "You mean virgin? Their grandmother is very traditional. She wants to ensure the marriage is well, legitimate in every way." Dija should have run, should have found another way. But watching her father struggle to breathe, thinking about her mother's tears, remembering her sister's face when she'd said she'd drop out of university to help, she'd signed the contract. The wedding had been small, private, almost clinical. A judge, the lawyer, the 3 brothers in matching black suits, and Dija in a simple white dress her mother had sewn. She'd barely looked at their faces during the ceremony, too overwhelmed by the surreal nature of marrying 3 men simultaneously. Legal in Korea under specific circumstances, the lawyer had explained. Rare, but legitimate. The grandmother had watched from her wheelchair, satisfaction gleaming in her ancient eyes as each brother placed a ring on Dija's finger. 3 rings, 3 vows, 3 husbands. Then she'd been brought here to this penthouse that probably cost more than her entire neighborhood in Lagos. Left alone to change into the white silk nightgown someone had laid out on the bed, and now faced with 3 men who looked at her like she was both precious and prey. "My name is Seo-jun Park," the one in the center said. He was the one who'd spoken first, the one who seemed to lead. "This is Miho," he gestured to his left, and Taehyun to his right. "We're identical triplets, as you've probably noticed." Dija had noticed. It was impossible not to. They were devastatingly handsome, all sharp cheekbones and intense dark eyes, black hair styled similarly but with subtle differences she was starting to recognize. Seojin's was swept back, Miho had his parted on the side, Taehyun's fell slightly forward over his forehead. They were all tall, probably 6'2" or 3, with builds that suggested they spent serious time in the gym. And they were all looking at her with an intensity that made her skin flush. "I know this is overwhelming," Miho said, his voice gentler than Seojin's. "We're not going to hurt you, but we are going to show you pleasure you've never imagined," Taehyun added, a slight smile playing at his lips. "There's a difference between pain and ecstasy. We'll give you the latter." "I don't want to," Dija blurted out. "I mean, I know I signed the contract, but it said marriage, not this." "The contract specifically states consummation is required," Seo-jin said, pulling out his phone and scrolling. Section 7, Paragraph 3. "The marriage must be legitimate in all ways, including physical intimacy, to satisfy our grandmother's requirements and ensure full payment of agreed terms." Dija's stomach dropped. She'd read the contract, but the legal language had been so dense and she'd been so desperate she'd missed that detail. "I'm not ready," she said, her voice shaking. I don't know how to." "We know," Seojun said. "That's part of why you were chosen." "That's disgusting," Dija snapped, anger suddenly cutting through her fear. "You specifically wanted a virgin." "What is this, the Dark Ages?" "Our grandmother is 93 years old," Miho explained. "She has very traditional values. She wanted to ensure that her grandson's wife was pure, untouched. We didn't choose the requirements, we're just following them." "Why do you even need a wife?" Dija demanded. "You're rich, powerful. Clearly you could have any woman you wanted. Why go through all this?" The three brothers exchanged glances. Then Seojun spoke. "Our grandmother is dying. She has maybe 3 months left. Her final wish is to see us married, settled, continuing the family line. We've disappointed her in the past. This is our chance to give her peace before she goes." "What did you do to disappoint her?" Dija asked. "That's not relevant to tonight," Taehyun said, moving closer. Dija pressed harder against the door. "Please don't touch me. I'm scared." All three brothers stopped immediately. "We're not rapists," Seojun said firmly. "Everything that happens tonight happens with your consent." "But you said the contract requires consummation," Dija pointed out. "It does," Miho agreed. "But that doesn't mean we force you. It means we seduce you, convince you, make you want it as much as we do." "I won't want it," Dija said. "I don't even know you." "Then let us introduce ourselves properly," Seojun said. "Sit, talk with us. Let us explain what this year will actually look like." Against her better judgment, Dija moved to the couch. The brothers sat across from her, giving her space, their body language open and non-threatening. First, Seojun began, "You should know that we take the marriage seriously. You're not just a contract to us. You're our wife. That means something in our culture, in our family. It means you're under our protection," Miho continued. "Anyone who threatens you threatens us. Anyone who hurts you answers to us. And it means," Taehyun finished, "that we're committed to your happiness, your safety, your well-being for this year and possibly beyond, depending on how things develop." "The contract says 1 year," Dija said. "After that, I'm free to go with my money." "The contract says minimum 1 year," Seojun corrected. "If all parties agree, it can be extended indefinitely or made permanent." Dija's heart skipped. "You mean actually stay married, like forever?" "If we fall in love," Miho said simply. "If this becomes real instead of just business, it's possible, isn't it?" "I don't know," Dija admitted. "This is all insane." "Insane doesn't mean impossible," Taehyun said, leaning forward with his elbows on his knees. "Our entire family built an empire on insane ideas that everyone said were impossible." "Your family built an empire on what exactly?" Dija asked. "Let's not romanticize whatever you do." Seojun's lips curved into something that might have been a smile. "You're right to question. Our grandfather started with shipping in Busan. Our father expanded into technology, manufacturing, international trade. We've diversified even further. Import, export, real estate, entertainment. Mostly legal, some operating in gray areas." "Why are you telling me this?" Dija asked. "Shouldn't you be keeping your business activities secret?" "You're our wife," Miho said simply. "That makes you family. Family knows everything. Family is trusted with everything, and family never, ever betrays each other." The weight of those words settled over Dija like a blanket, heavy, warm, suffocating. "I didn't sign up to become part of whatever empire you're running," she said. "I signed up to help my father, pay our debts, and walk away after a year." "Plans change," Seojun said. "Feelings develop. Loyalties shift. You might discover you like being a park." "I'm still an Okonkwo," Dija shot back. "The contract allows me to keep my name." "For now," Taehyun said softly. "But you're wearing our rings, sleeping in our home, about to share our bed. At what point does Okonkwo become just a memory and park become your identity?" Dija looked down at her left hand. 3 bands of platinum, each engraved with different Korean characters she couldn't read. "What do they say?" she asked. "The rings. Seo-jun held up his own hand showing a matching band. Mine says strength. I'm the eldest by 4 minutes. I handle strategy, leadership, the difficult decisions. Miho showed his ring next. Mine says wisdom. I'm the middle. I handle negotiations, partnerships, keeping balance between our various operations and allies. Taehyun's ring caught the light. Mine says passion. I'm the youngest by 6 minutes. I handle the creative side, innovation, making sure we don't lose our humanity in business. And mine, Dija asked. Yours says home, all 3 brothers said simultaneously. Because that's what you are to us now, Seo-jun continued. Home. The place we return to. The person who grounds us. Tia felt tears threatening. You don't even know me. How can I be your home? We know enough, Miho said. We know you love your family so much you married 3 strangers to save them. We know you're scared but brave enough to face that fear. We know you challenge us instead of just submitting. That's more than enough to start with. Everything else, Taehyun added, standing and moving slowly toward her, we'll learn together. He stopped a foot away, close enough that Dija could smell his cologne, something expensive and masculine that made her head spin. Can I touch you? He asked. Just your hand. Nothing more. Dija's heart hammered. Why? Because I want to see if you feel it too, the connection, the electricity. There's no electricity, Dija said, but her voice wavered. Then you have nothing to fear from letting me hold your hand, Taehyun said reasonably. Slowly, Dija extended her hand. Taehyun took it gently, his fingers warm and calloused against her palm. The moment their skin connected, Dija gasped. It wasn't electricity exactly, more like heat spreading from where they touched, up her arm, through her chest, settling low in her belly in a way that made her shift uncomfortably. You feel it, Taehyun said, satisfaction in his voice. Don't lie and say you don't. I feel something, Dija admitted. That doesn't mean I want to sleep with you. Not yet, Seo-jun said, appearing at her other side. But you will. May I? He held out his hand. Dija knew she should refuse, should maintain boundaries, should remember this was just business. Instead, she placed her other hand in Seo-jun's. The heat doubled, tripled when Miho moved behind the couch, his hands gentle on her shoulders. This is what we felt the moment we saw your picture, Miho said softly, his breath warm against her ear. Our lawyer showed us 50 candidates. Women who fit grandmother's requirements, who needed money, who might agree. But when we saw you, all 3 of us knew you were ours. That's not how attraction works, Dija protested weakly, even as her body betrayed her, leaning into their touches. That's not how anything works. And yet here we are, Seo-jun said, lifting her hand to his lips, pressing a kiss to her knuckles that sent shivers down her spine. 3 men who've never agreed on anything, unanimous in wanting you. We've been with other women, Taehyun admitted, his thumb stroking circles on her palm. Separately, never together, never like this. But none of them felt right. None of them felt like home. Beautiful people, are you seeing what I'm seeing? The way these 3 powerful men are completely captivated by Dija. If you want to see how this unfolds, how she handles 3 husbands who refuse to let her stay distant, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me who's your favorite triplet so far. Seo-jun, Miho, or Taehyun. Let's continue. I need time, Dija said, pulling her hands free, immediately missing their warmth. I need to process this, all of this. Can we not do anything tonight, please? The brothers exchanged glances, having one of those silent conversations that identical siblings seemed capable of. Then Seo-jun nodded. We'll give you tonight, but Dija, the contract requires consummation within the first week of marriage. Grandmother's doctor will verify it. Dija's face flamed. Verify it. How? Medical examination, Miho said gently. I know it's invasive and archaic, but it's required. You signed agreeing to it. I didn't read every detail, Dija said miserably. I was desperate. We know, Taehyun said. That's why we're giving you time to adjust. But you need to understand that by the end of this week, one way or another, you'll no longer be a virgin. That's not negotiable. How it happens, with whom, under what circumstances, that's up to you. But it will happen. The finality in his voice should have terrified her. Instead, it sent a different kind of shiver through Deeja's body. 1 week, she said. And then what, you all just, take turns? That's crude, Seojun said, frowning. We're not animals. We're your husbands. When we make love to you, it will be because you want us, because you're ready, because you're begging for it. I won't beg, Deeja said firmly. You will, all three brothers said together, their voices holding dark promises. We'll make sure of it. Seojun stood, gesturing to the bedroom door. Your room is through there. Everything you need has been provided. Clothes, toiletries, anything you might want. There's a lock on the door if it makes you feel safer, though we'd never enter without permission. Our rooms are on the same floor, Miho added. If you need anything during the night, anything at all, call for us. And Deeja, Taehyun said as she moved toward the bedroom, sweet dreams. Dream of us. Dream of what it will feel like when you finally surrender. Deeja fled into the bedroom, closing the door and leaning against it, her heart racing. The room was massive, decorated in soft creams and golds, dominated by a bed that could easily fit 4 people. A bed designed for what was coming, for when her week of grace ended and she had to fulfill her contract. She moved to the window, looking out at Seoul's glittering skyline. Somewhere out there, her father was sleeping peacefully in a private hospital room instead of dying in a public ward. Her mother was in their shop, saved from closure. Her sister was planning her return to university. And all it cost was Deeja's freedom, her body, her future. Was it worth it? She didn't know. But as she touched her lips, remembering the heat of Taehyun's hand, the intensity of Seojun's gaze, the gentleness of Miho's touch, she wondered if maybe, possibly, insanely, this might become more than just a sacrifice. Deeja didn't sleep. She lay in that enormous bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of the evening until her mind was spinning. Around 3 in the morning, she heard footsteps in the hallway outside her door. They paused. She held her breath, waiting for a knock that never came. After a long moment, the footsteps retreated. Even respecting her space, they were checking on her. The thought shouldn't have been comforting, but it was. Morning came with soft light filtering through cream curtains. Deeja found clothes laid out in the walk-in closet, designer labels in her exact size, jeans, silk blouses, casual dresses, everything perfectly chosen for her taste and complexion. How did they know? How much research had they done on her before making their offer? She showered in the marble bathroom using products that probably cost more than her monthly salary back home, then dressed in jeans and a soft sweater, trying to feel normal in this surreal situation. When she emerged, the smell of coffee and something sweet drew her toward the kitchen. She found Miho at the stove cooking what looked like pancakes while Taehyun set the table. Seojun sat reading a newspaper, looking like he'd stepped out of a magazine in his tailored suit. Good morning, Miho said, smiling warmly. I hope you like blueberry pancakes. I made them American style since you probably miss familiar food. You cook? Deeja asked, surprised. All 3 of us do, Taehyun said, pouring orange juice. Our mother insisted. She said men who couldn't feed themselves were useless. Your mother, Deeja said, sitting carefully at the table. Where is she? The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Seojun set down his newspaper, his expression hardening. Dead 15 years ago, murdered by rivals who wanted to destroy our father. I'm so sorry, Deeja whispered. Don't be, Miho said, bringing a plate of perfect pancakes to the table. We avenged her. Every single person involved in her death no longer exists. It took us 5 years, but we were thorough. The casual way he said it, like discussing the weather, sent chills down Deeja's spine. These men were killers. Actual killers. And she was married to them. You're afraid again, Taehyun observed, studying her face. Don't be, Deeja. We'd never hurt you. You're ours to protect, not harm. But you hurt other people, she said. People who threaten what's ours, Seojun corrected. There's a difference in our world. You protect your own or you lose everything. We choose protection. Is that what I am now? Deeja asked. Something you own. Property to protect. You're our wife, Miho said firmly. That's not ownership. That's partnership. You're part of us now whether you accept it yet or not. They ate in tense silence. The pancakes were delicious, perfectly fluffy and sweet, but Dija barely tasted them. Her mind was racing with questions, fears, and that strange heat that kept building whenever the brothers looked at her. "Grandmother wants to meet you today," Seojun said finally. "She's at the family estate in Gangnam. We'll go this afternoon." "What do I say to her?" Dija asked. "How do I act?" "Like our wife," Taehyun said simply. "Respectful but not submissive. She respects strength. And don't mention that this is temporary," Miho added. "As far as grandmother knows, this is forever. Real, a love match." "But it's not," Dija protested. "It could be," all three brothers said together. The Park family estate was enormous, a traditional Korean compound hidden behind walls and guards. As they drove through the gates, Dija saw gardens, koi ponds, and buildings that looked centuries old nestled among modern security systems. "This is where we grew up," Miho explained as they walked toward the main house. "Grandmother lives in the ancestral wing. She refuses to modernize it. Says it dishonors our heritage." "What's she like?" Dija asked nervously. "Terrifying," Taehyun said honestly. "But if she likes you, she'll protect you like you're her own blood. If she doesn't, well, let's hope she likes you." Grandmother Park sat in a chair that looked more like a throne, dressed in traditional hanbok, her white hair pulled back severely. Her eyes were sharp, missing nothing as Dija entered and bowed as Miho had instructed. "So this is the girl," grandmother said in Korean. Seojun translated quietly. "Yes, grandmother. This is Dija Okonkwo, our wife. She's beautiful," grandmother continued, still in Korean. "Good hips for bearing children, strong shoulders, exotic features. You chose well." Dija felt like livestock being evaluated, but she kept her expression neutral. "Does she speak Korean?" grandmother asked. "Not yet," Miho answered. "But we'll teach her. She should learn quickly. A Park wife who can't speak Korean is useless." Grandmother switched to heavily accented English. "You, girl, come closer." Dija approached, her heart pounding. Grandmother reached out, took her hand, examining it with clinical precision. "Soft hands, not a laborer." "What did your family do?" "My mother runs a fabric shop," Dija said. "My father was a civil engineer before his stroke." "Poor then. That's why you agreed to this arrangement." The bluntness stung, but Dija met grandmother's eyes. "Yes, I agreed to save my family from debt." "Honest," grandmother said, nodding approval. "Good. I hate liars. Do you love my grandsons?" The question caught Dija off guard. She could feel the brothers tensing behind her. "I don't know them well enough to love them yet," she said carefully. "But I respect them and I'm committed to this marriage." "For how long?" "1 year, as the contract states." Grandmother's smile was sharp. "You think I don't know about the contract?" "I'm old, not stupid." Dija's blood went cold. "Grandmother," Seojun started, but she waved him off. "I know everything, Seojun. I approved the contract. You think I'd let my grandsons marry without my blessing?" Beautiful people, can you believe this plot twist? Grandmother knew all along. If you're as shocked as Dija right now, smash that subscribe button because this story is about to get even more intense. Trust me, you don't want to miss what grandmother reveals next. "You knew?" Dija asked. "And you approved?" "Of course," grandmother said. "My grandsons need a wife who isn't after their money or power. Someone who can be trusted. Someone who signed a contract with clear terms is more trustworthy than some girl claiming love while hunting for fortune." "But you wanted the marriage to be real," Dija said, confused. "Consummated." "Yes, because I want great-grandchildren before I die. And because if my grandsons are going to keep you for a year, they might as well enjoy you properly. A year is long enough to fall in love, to make this real. The contract is just the beginning." Grandmother leaned forward, her grip on Dija's hand tightening. "Here's what you don't understand yet, girl. My grandsons have never brought a woman to meet me. Never shared anything. They've had women, yes, separately, selfishly, but you, they share. You they agreed on. That means something. It means desperation to fulfill your dying wish," Dija said. Grandmother laughed, a sound like crackling paper. "It means love, stupid girl. They just don't know it yet. Neither do you, but you will. She released Deeja's hand. The consummation must happen this week. Have you completed it yet? Deeja's face burned. No. Why not? Are my grandsons not attractive enough? Not skilled enough? I need time to adjust, Deeja managed. Time is something I don't have, grandmother said sharply. My doctor says 3 months if I'm lucky. I want to see you pregnant before I die. I want to know the park line continues. That's not in the contract, Deeja protested. It will be, grandmother said. Amendment to be signed today. Pregnancy within the first 6 months of marriage or payment is withheld. You can't change the terms, Deeja said, panic rising. I agreed to marriage, not breeding. You agreed to whatever I decide, grandmother said coldly. Your family's debts are paid but can be reinstated. Your father's hospital care can be withdrawn. Your sister's college fund can disappear. You want to negotiate, girl? I hold all the cards. Deeja felt tears burning. This was worse than she'd imagined. Not just giving up her virginity, but her entire future, her body's autonomy. Grandmother, that's enough, Seojun said firmly. You're scaring her. Good, she should be scared. This is a serious commitment. We won't force pregnancy, Miho said. That wasn't part of our agreement with you. Then make it part of your agreement with her, grandmother snapped. Or find another wife who will cooperate. Deeja ran. She didn't think, just turned and fled out of the room, through the compound, her vision blurred with tears. She heard the brothers calling after her, but didn't stop, couldn't stop. She'd sold herself into slavery. That's what this was. Not marriage, slavery. Strong hands caught her in the garden, spinning her around. Seojun. Let me go, she sobbed. I can't do this. I can't be your breeding mare. You won't be, he said firmly, pulling her against his chest. Grandmother doesn't control this marriage. We do, and we say no forced pregnancy. But my family, Deeja cried. She'll destroy them. She won't, Miho said, appearing on her other side. Because we won't let her. We'll pay your family's debts ourselves if necessary. Why would you do that? Deeja asked, pulling back to look at Seojun's face. You'd go against your own grandmother for me. Yes, all 3 brothers said simultaneously. Taehyun stepped closer, his hand gentle on her back. Grandmother is dying and desperate. She's not thinking clearly. But we are, and we're telling you right now, Deeja, no one forces you into anything. Not her, not us, not anyone. But the contract, Deeja whispered. The consummation requirement, the examination, all of it. That stands, Seojun said. You agreed to that and we need it to satisfy the legal requirements. But pregnancy, that happens if and when you want it, not because grandmother demands it. Miho cupped her face, wiping away her tears with his thumbs. Listen to me. We're not perfect men. We've done difficult things, but we have honor. We keep our word, and we're giving you our word right now that you're safe with us. How can I trust that? Deeja asked. How can I trust any of this? Because we're going back in there right now, Taehyun said. And we're going to tell grandmother exactly where she can put her pregnancy demand. And if she tries to threaten your family, she'll learn that we protect what's ours, even from her. They walked back into the ancestral house together, the 3 brothers flanking Deeja like bodyguards. Grandmother sat exactly where they'd left her, unsurprised by their return. Done running? She asked Deeja. I wasn't running from you, Deeja said, finding her voice. I was processing. There's a difference. Grandmother's eyebrow rose. Brave words for a girl with everything to lose. Grandmother, Seojun said, his voice cold in a way Deeja hadn't heard before. The pregnancy clause will not be added to the contract. Deeja will give us children if and when she chooses, not because you demand it. You dare defy me, grandmother's voice was sharp as broken glass. For her, for our wife, Miho corrected. For the woman we chose. You taught us to protect family, grandmother. She's family now. That means protecting her from everyone, including you. Silence stretched like a wire about to snap. Then grandmother laughed, that crackling paper sound again. Finally. Finally you boys show some backbone. I was beginning to think you'd never stand up to me. This was a test, Taehyun asked, anger flashing in his eyes. Of course it was a test, grandmother said. You think I'd really threaten an innocent girl's family? I wanted to see if you'd protect her, if you'd choose her over me. And you did. Good. Deeja's legs felt weak. You were lying about withdrawing my father's care, about the pregnancy demand. The pregnancy demand was real, grandmother said. I do want great-grandchildren, but I won't force it. I wanted to see if my grandsons would force it. They won't. That tells me they truly care for you, even if they don't realize it yet. You're manipulative, Deeja said, anger replacing fear. You played with my emotions, my family's safety, for a test. I'm thorough, grandmother corrected. And now I know my grandsons chose well. You have fire, you have fear, but you face it, and they protect you instinctively. That's all I needed to see. She gestured to a servant who brought forward a small box. This belonged to my mother-in-law, passed down through 6 generations of Park wives. I give it to you now. Inside the box was a jade bracelet, deep green and intricately carved. This is worth more than money, grandmother said as Deeja stared at it. It's family legacy, proof that I accept you as a true Park wife, not just a contract bride. Wear it and everyone will know you're under my protection. I don't understand, Deeja said. Why give me this if you know I'm leaving in a year? Because I know you won't, grandmother said simply. You'll fall in love with my grandsons. They'll fall in love with you. The contract will become meaningless. This bracelet is my bet on that future. The drive back to the penthouse was quiet. Deeja sat between Miho and Taehyun in the back seat while Seojun drove, the jade bracelet heavy on her wrist. I'm sorry about grandmother, Miho finally said. She's well, she's grandmother. Manipulation is how she survived 93 years in this world. She terrifies me, Deeja admitted. Good, Taehyun said. She terrifies everyone. But she's also fiercely loyal to family. Now that you've passed her test, she'll protect you like you're her own blood. What if I hadn't passed? Deeja asked. Seojun caught her eyes in the rearview mirror. Then we would have protected you anyway, from her, from anyone. That's what we do. Back at the penthouse, Deeja escaped to her room, claiming exhaustion. In truth, she needed space to process everything. Grandmother's test, the brother's protection, the weight of the jade bracelet on her wrist. She was in deeper than she'd realized. This wasn't just a contract anymore. These men were claiming her, protecting her, making her part of something she didn't fully understand. And worse, she was starting to want it. A soft knock interrupted her thoughts. Deeja, Miho's voice. Can we talk? She opened the door to find all 3 brothers standing there. We thought you might have questions, Seojun said. After today. I have 1,000 questions, Deeja admitted, stepping back to let them in. They settled in her sitting area, the brothers on one couch, Deeja on the chair across from them. Why do you really want this marriage? She asked. And don't tell me it's just for grandmother. There has to be more. The brothers exchanged glances. Then Taehyun spoke. 5 years ago, we made a mistake. A bad decision that cost innocent lives. She was devastated, ashamed of us. She cut us off emotionally, said we'd lost our way, become monsters like our father. What did you do? Deeja asked. We trusted the wrong person, Seojun said, his voice tight. A rival organization approached us, said they wanted peace, wanted to negotiate territory. We agreed to meet, but it was a trap. They'd planted explosives in the meeting location. We figured it out and got out, but there was a school next door. The explosives didn't just destroy the meeting site. Deeja's hand flew to her mouth. How many? 28 children, Miho said, his voice breaking. And 12 teachers. All dead because we were careless, because we didn't properly vet the location, because we were arrogant enough to think we were untouchable. We hunted down everyone responsible, Taehyun continued. Made them pay. But it didn't bring those children back, didn't undo what our carelessness caused. Grandmother said we were cursed, Seojun said. That we'd never know peace, never have families, never experience love because we'd stolen it from so many parents. She said the only way to redeem ourselves was to build something good, create life instead of taking it. If you're feeling the weight of this revelation like I am, beautiful people, leave a comment telling me if you think the brothers deserve redemption. Can love truly heal the past? Hit subscribe to see if DJ can be their salvation. So I'm your redemption, DJ asked quietly. You're our chance, Miho said. Our chance to be better men, to create a family, raise children who won't make our mistakes, to build something good from all this darkness. That's a lot of pressure to put on one person, DJ said. We know, Taehyun agreed. And it's not fair to you, but it's the truth. We need you, DJ. Not just for grandmother, for ourselves. You make us want to be better. I don't know how to fix broken men, DJ whispered. We're not asking you to fix us, Seojun said. We're asking you to love us anyway, broken pieces and all. DJ looked at these three identical faces, seeing them differently now. Not just as dangerous business heirs or convenient husbands, but as men carrying crushing guilt, seeking redemption in the only way they knew how. The consummation, she said slowly. It has to happen this week. Yes, they confirmed. Then I want it to mean something, DJ said, her heart pounding. Not just fulfilling a contract. I want to choose it. Choose you. All of you. The air in the room changed instantly, charging with electricity. Are you sure? Seojun asked, his voice rough. Because once we start, DJ, we won't be able to stop. We've been holding back, being gentlemen, but if you give us permission, if you truly choose this, we'll claim you completely. I'm sure, DJ said, standing on shaking legs. But not tonight. I need 2 more days to prepare myself mentally. Can you give me that? We can give you anything you need, Miho said, also standing. 2 days then. But DJ, use that time wisely, because in 2 days you become ours in every way possible. And you become mine, DJ said, surprised by her own boldness. That's how this works, right? If I'm giving myself to you, you're giving yourselves to me. Yes, all 3 brothers said, something like reverence in their voices. We're already yours. We have been since we first saw your picture. The next 2 days were a study in controlled tension. The brothers circled DJ like predators who'd been promised a feast but had to wait. They were respectful, patient, but their eyes tracked her every movement with hunger that made her skin flesh. Seojun would brush past her in the hallway, his hand grazing her lower back, sending sparks through her body. Miho would sit too close during meals, his thigh pressing against hers, casual but deliberate. Taehyun would find excuses to touch her hair, her hand, her shoulder, each contact brief but electric. You're torturing us, Taehyun said on the second evening, finding her on the balcony overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline. I know, DJ admitted, not looking at him. Is that wrong? It's cruel, he said, stepping closer until she could feel his body heat, but also incredibly arousing, watching you walk around our home knowing that tomorrow night you'll be in our bed, knowing we'll finally touch you the way we've been dreaming about. DJ's breath caught. What have you been dreaming about? Taehyun's hand came up to her neck, his thumb stroking her pulse point. Everything. The sounds you'll make, how your skin will taste, whether you'll be shy or bold, if you'll call our names when you come. Taehyun, DJ whispered, her body responding despite her nervousness. Tomorrow, he said, stepping back with visible effort. Tomorrow we'll show you everything. But tonight, you should rest. You'll need your strength. That night, DJ barely slept. Fear and anticipation warred inside her. She'd never been with anyone, never even come close. What if she disappointed them? What if it hurt? What if she couldn't handle all 3 of them? Her mind spun with worst-case scenarios until exhaustion finally claimed her near dawn. She woke to sunlight and the smell of coffee. Her last morning as a virgin. The thought should have terrified her. Instead, it sent a thrill through her body that she couldn't deny. Beautiful, Taehyun breathed. Your skin, it's like silk. Perfect, Miho agreed. Every curve, every line. Ours, Seojun said with finality. They undressed to their boxers, then guided her into the tub. What followed was the most intimate, erotic experience of DJ's life, and they hadn't even really touched her yet. Miho washed her hair, his fingers massaging her scalp until she was nearly boneless. Taehyun soaped her body, his hands gliding over her skin, lingering on curves, learning her. Seo Jun held her hand, his thumb tracing patterns on her palm, grounding her. Beautiful people, can you feel the tension building? These brothers are masters at anticipation. If you're invested in Deej's journey, show some love with a like and tell me in the comments if you'd survive this level of seduction. Don't forget to subscribe because tonight is going to change everything. How do you feel? Seo Jun asked as they dried her with soft towels. Overwhelmed, Deej admitted. Scared, excited, confused. All normal, Miho assured her. Your first time should feel significant. We're making sure it does. They dressed her in a silk nightgown, white and virginal but cut to showcase her body. Led her to lunch on the balcony where they continued their sensory seduction, feeding her, touching her casually, keeping her body aware of them constantly. Tell us your fantasies, Taehyun said during lunch. What have you imagined about intimacy? Deej's face burned. I haven't really, I don't know. Everyone fantasizes, Seo Jun said. Even virgins. Tell us what you've thought about late at night when you're alone in bed. I've imagined, Deej started, then stopped, embarrassed. Go on, Miho encouraged. Nothing you say will shock us. I've imagined being completely overwhelmed, Deej admitted. Not being able to think, only feel. Being so lost in sensation that nothing else matters. That, Taehyun said with satisfaction, we can definitely provide. The afternoon passed in a haze of anticipation. They watched movies curled on the couch, the brothers taking turns holding her, touching her, keeping her constantly aware of what was coming. They made dinner together, the brothers working in synchronized harmony while Deej watched, realizing this was their way of showing her how they functioned as a unit. Everything they did together, including claiming their wife. As evening fell, Seo Jun stood, extending his hand. It's time, he said simply. Deej's heart hammered. I'm nervous. We know, Miho said, taking her other hand. But we've got you. We'll take care of everything. Taehyun moved behind her, his hands on her shoulders. Trust us, Deej. Trust that we'll make this good for you. Trust that we know what we're doing. I do trust you, Deej realized with surprise. I don't know why, but I do. They led her to a bedroom she'd never entered. Their bedroom, massive bed with black silk sheets, dim lighting, candles everywhere, music playing softly, everything designed for seduction. Last chance to change your mind, Seo Jun said, though his eyes begged her not to. I'm not changing my mind, Deej said, surprised by the steadiness in her voice. I want this. I want you. All of you. Then come here, all three brothers said, and let us show you what it means to be loved by the Park triplets. Seo Jun was the first to kiss her. Slow, deep, devastating. His hands tangled in her natural hair, angling her head for better access. His tongue swept against hers, teaching her the rhythm, the give and take. When he finally pulled back, they were both breathing hard. My turn, Miho said, spinning her to face him. His kiss was different, softer but no less intense. Where Seo Jun demanded, Miho requested. Where Seo Jun took, Miho gave. By the time he released her, Deej was trembling. Taehyun caught her before she could catch her breath. His kiss was passion and desperation combined, like he'd been starving and she was his first meal. His hands roamed her body over the silk nightgown, learning her curves, her responses, what made her gasp and arch into his touch. Please, Deej heard herself whisper when he finally released her lips. Please what? Seo Jun asked, moving behind her, his hand sliding down her arms. Tell us what you need. I don't know, Deej admitted. I don't know what I'm supposed to want. Then we'll teach you, Miho said, his fingers finding the straps of her nightgown, sliding them down slowly. We'll teach your body what it craves, what it needs, what it was made for. The nightgown pulled at her feet, leaving Deej completely bare. 3 pairs of identical eyes devoured her, dark with desire so intense it should have frightened her. Instead, it made her feel powerful. These dangerous men were undone by her body, reduced to hunger and need. On the bed, Seo Jun commanded gently. Lie back. Let us look at you. Deej moved to the massive bed, the silk sheets cool against her heated skin. She lay back, fighting the urge to cover herself, to hide. The brothers stood at the foot of the bed, still partially clothed, just watching her. You're thinking too much, Taehyun observed. We can see it in your eyes. Stop thinking, Dija. Just feel. How? She asked. How do I stop thinking? Let us show you, all three said together. They moved in perfect synchronization. Seojun climbing onto the bed on her right, Miho on her left, Taehyun settling between her legs but not touching, not yet. We're going to touch you now, Seojun said, his hand hovering over her stomach. Everywhere. We're going to learn what makes you sigh, what makes you moan, what makes you scream. And you're going to let us, Miho added, his fingers tracing patterns on her arm. No hiding, no holding back. Give us everything. I don't know how, Dija whispered. Yes you do, Taehyun said, his hands warm on her ankles. Your body knows. Trust it. They touched her simultaneously. Seojun's mouth on her neck, Miho's lips on her shoulder, Taehyun's hand sliding up her legs. Gentle at first, exploratory, learning her responses. Dija's mind went blank. There was only sensation, hands and mouths and heat. They worked together like they'd choreographed it, one backing off as another intensified, keeping her constantly stimulated but never overwhelmed. Seojun's hand cupped her breast, his thumb circling until it peaked. Miho's teeth grazed her collarbone, his hand splayed on her stomach. Taehyun kissed the inside of her thigh, getting closer to where she was beginning to ache. Beautiful, Seojun murmured against her skin. The way you respond to us, it's perfect. Don't hold back those sounds, Miho encouraged as Dija tried to suppress a moan. We want to hear everything. Taehyun's mouth moved higher, his breath hot against her most intimate place. May I, he asked, always the gentleman even now. Yes, Dija gasped. God, yes. What happened next shattered every preconception Dija had about pleasure. Taehyun's mouth on her was skilled, devastating, relentless. He found nerves she didn't know existed, built pressure she'd never experienced. Meanwhile, Seojun and Miho continued on her upper body, mouths and hands working in concert. That's it, Seojun said as Dija began to writhe. Stop fighting it. Let it happen. I can't, Dija panted. It feels too good. You can, Miho assured her. And you will, Dija. Show us how beautiful you are when you break. Taehyun did something with his tongue, something that sent Dija over an edge she didn't know existed. She cried out, her body arching off the bed, pleasure crashing through her in waves that seemed endless. The brothers held her through it, their hands gentling but not stopping, drawing out her climax until she was boneless and gasping. That was one, Seojun said with satisfaction. We're going to give you at least 3 more before we even think about taking you. I can't, Dija said weakly. I can't possibly. You can, all 3 brothers assured her. And you will. They gave her only moments to recover before beginning again. This time, Miho settled between her legs while Seojun and Taehyun worked her upper body. Miho was different from Taehyun, more playful, more teasing. He brought her to the edge repeatedly, backing off each time until Dija was actually begging. Please, Miho, please don't stop. There it is, he said with satisfaction. We told you you'd beg. Now let go for us, beautiful. He sent her over again, Dija screaming his name, her hands tangling in his hair, holding him to her. When she finally came down, tears of pleasure were streaming down her face from the intensity. Too much, Taehyun asked, concerned, wiping her tears. No, Dija said. Not enough. I need more. Greedy, Seojun said approvingly. Good. We like you greedy. Beautiful people, are you breathing? Because I'm not sure I am. This is the intensity we live for. If you're feeling this story, drop a comment telling me which brother you choose first. Hit that like button and subscribe because we're about to reach the main event. This time, all 3 brothers undressed completely. Dija watched through heavy-lidded eyes as they revealed bodies that were identical and perfect, muscled, sculpted, clearly maintained with religious dedication, and aroused. Very, very aroused. Don't be scared, Seojun said, noticing her expression. We'll make sure you're ready. We'll make sure it's good. Who's first? Dija asked, her voice shaking. The brothers exchanged glances. I am, Seojun said. As the eldest, it's my responsibility. But Dija, look at me. This isn't just duty. I want you. I've wanted you since the moment I saw your picture, and I promise I'll make this good for you. He settled over her, his body covering hers, his weight comforting rather than threatening. Look at me, he commanded gently. Dija met his eyes, dark and intense and filled with something that looked almost like love. I'm scared, she admitted. I know, he said, kissing her softly. But I've got you. Trust me. He entered her slowly, so slowly, giving her body time to adjust. There was pressure, discomfort, a sharp pain that made her gasp. Seojun stopped immediately. Breathe, he instructed. Just breathe. The pain will pass. Miho's hand found hers, squeezing. Taehyun kissed her forehead, her cheeks, distracting her. Slowly, the pain faded. Seojun moved incrementally deeper, his control absolute, until finally he was fully seated inside her. How do you feel? He asked, his voice strained from holding back. Full, Dija said. Strange, but not bad. It gets better, he promised. Just relax and let me show you. He began to move, slow and controlled, letting her body learn the rhythm. Miho's hand slid between them, finding where she was most sensitive, adding pressure that transformed discomfort into pleasure. Taehyun's mouth found her breast, his tongue circling in time with Seojun's thrusts. It shouldn't have worked. Dija should have been too overwhelmed, too uncomfortable. But somehow, impossibly, pleasure began building again, different from before, deeper, more intense. That's it, Seojun said, his control starting to slip. God, Dija, you feel incredible. More, she heard herself say. Please, Seojun, faster. He complied, his hips snapping harder, deeper. Miho's fingers worked faster. Taehyun's mouth moved to her neck, biting gently. The combination sent Dija over the edge again, this time pulling Seojun with her. He groaned her name, his body shuddering as he reached his climax. When he finally pulled out, Dija felt empty. Give her a minute, Miho said. But Dija shook her head. No, I want to keep going. I want all of you tonight like you promised. Are you sure? Taehyun asked. You're probably sore. I don't care, Dija said. I want this. I want to belong to all of you completely. Please. The brothers looked at each other, something passing between them. Then Miho moved into position. Then you'll have us, he said. All of us tonight, just like we promised. Miho was gentler than Seojun, more patient. He took his time, kissing every inch of Dija's body, relearning her responses, ensuring she was ready despite having just been claimed. You're perfect, he whispered against her skin. Do you know that? Perfect for us, like you were made to be ours. His touch was reverence, worship. Where Seojun had commanded, Miho requested. Where Seojun had taken, Miho gave. When he finally entered her, Dija was ready, eager even. The discomfort was less this time, her body already learning, already adjusting to accommodate. Look at me, Miho said, echoing Seojun's earlier command. I want to see your eyes when I make you mine. Dija met his gaze, found something soft there, something that looked like genuine affection mixed with desire. You're beautiful like this, he said, beginning to move. Flushed and wanting. I could look at you forever. Seojun and Taehyun didn't interfere this time, giving Miho his moment with their wife. They lay on either side of her, touching gently, offering comfort and connection, but letting Miho lead. Miho made love to her slowly, thoroughly, building her pleasure with careful precision. He learned what pace she preferred, what angle made her gasp, what rhythm made her moan. That's it, he encouraged as her hips began to rise to meet his. Take what you need. Use me. This is yours as much as it's mine. The concept was revolutionary, that she could take, could demand, could use them for her pleasure as much as they used her. Something shifted in Dija's mind. She wasn't just receiving, she was participating, claiming them as they claimed her. I want you, she said, more confident now. Miho, I want you harder. He complied immediately, his control fracturing. Yes. Tell me what you want from me. Always tell me what you want. I want you, Dija gasped, surprised by her own boldness. I want to feel you tomorrow. I want to remember this. Miho groaned. You'll remember. We'll make sure of it. Every time you move tomorrow, you'll feel us, feel what we did to you, feel how completely you belong to us. He reached between them, found where she was most sensitive, and circled until Dija climaxed again. Miho followed immediately, burying his face in her neck, her name a prayer on his lips. When he pulled out, he kissed her softly. Thank you, he said. For trusting us, for choosing us. One more, Taehyun said, and Dija could hear the hunger in his voice. Can you take one more, Dija? Can you take me? Yes, she whispered. I can take you. I want you to. Taehyun moved over her, but instead of settling between her legs immediately, he pulled her up. Different position, he explained. You on top. That way you control the depth, the pace. Your body needs that control right now. He lay back, pulling Dija over him. She straddled his hips, suddenly uncertain. I don't know what to do, she admitted. Just feel, Taehyun said, his hands on her hips, guiding. Listen to your body. It knows. Dija lowered herself slowly, taking him inch by inch. This position was different, deeper, hitting places inside her that made her gasp. Oh God, she breathed. That's intense. Too much, Taehyun asked, concern flickering across his face. No, Dija said, beginning to move experimentally. Not too much. Perfect. This is perfect. She found her rhythm, slow at first, then faster as confidence built. Taehyun's hands guided her but didn't control, letting her take what she needed. Seojun and Miho watched with undisguised hunger, their hands roaming her body, adding sensation, enhancing everything. Beautiful, Seojun murmured, his hand cupping her breast. Look at you, taking him like you were born for this. Take what you need, Miho added, his mouth on her shoulder. Use him. Use all of us. That's right, Dija. We're yours as much as you're ours. Taehyun's hand found where their bodies joined, pressed, circled, and impossibly, Dija climaxed again. When it hit, she cried out, her body convulsing, her vision going white. Taehyun followed her over, his hands gripping her hips, holding her to him as he found his release. When it was finally over, Dija collapsed onto his chest, completely spent. She was distantly aware of gentle hands cleaning her, soft voices murmuring reassurance, someone carrying her to a different bed with fresh sheets. Sleep, someone said, Seojun maybe. You did so well, Dija. So perfect. Sleep now. We've got you. Dija wanted to respond, wanted to say something meaningful about what had just happened, but exhaustion pulled her under before she could form words. When she woke, sunlight was streaming through unfamiliar windows. She was in a different bedroom, not hers, not the one where they'd made love. This one was neutral, comfortable, designed for recovery. Her body ached everywhere, between her legs, her thighs, but it was a good ache, a reminder of everything that had happened. She was no longer a virgin. She'd been claimed by 3 men, thoroughly and completely. And God help her, she'd loved every minute of it. The door opened quietly. Taehyun appeared with a tray. You're awake. Good. We were starting to worry. What time is it? Dija asked, her voice rough. Almost 2 in the afternoon. You slept 14 hours. 14 hours, Dija tried to sit up and gasped as her body protested. Taehyun was beside her immediately, helping her up, arranging pillows behind her back. Easy. You're going to be sore for a few days. We were thorough. Heat flooded Dija's face as memories returned in vivid detail. That's one way to put it. Taehyun set the tray across her lap. Soup, tea, fruit, everything easy to digest. Eat. You need to regain your strength. Where are your brothers? Dija asked. Handling business. They didn't want to leave, but some things required their immediate attention. They'll be back soon. If you're still with us, beautiful people, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now because this story is about to take a turn nobody saw coming. The triplets think they've claimed Dija, but she's about to show them that being claimed works both ways. Drop a like if you're Team Dija. Dija ate slowly, processing everything. Last night had been intense, overwhelming, transformative. She'd given herself to them completely. But what did that mean for the rest of her year? For her future? You're thinking too much again, Taehyun observed, sitting on the edge of the bed. I can see it in your eyes. I'm just trying to understand what happens now, Dija said. Now we continue, Taehyun said simply. You're our wife. We're your husbands. We build a life together. For a year, Dija reminded him. And then I leave. Taehyun's expression darkened. Do you really think after last night, after what we shared, that we'll let you walk away in a year? The contract says. Forget the contract, Taehyun interrupted, shocking her with his vehemence. Last night changed everything. You're ours now, Dija. Not because of a piece of paper. Because you chose us, because we claimed you, because you belong with us. You don't own me, Dija said, anger flaring. I'm not property. You're right, Taehyun agreed. You're not property. You're family, our wife, the woman we're falling in love with. And family doesn't leave. You don't love me, Dija protested. You barely know me. I know you're brave. I know you're loyal to your family. I know you challenge us instead of just submitting. I know the sounds you make when you climax, the way you taste, how you feel wrapped around me. I know I've never wanted anyone the way I want you. If that's not the beginning of love, what is? Before Dija could respond, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. She opened it and felt her blood run cold. The message contained a photo of her mother outside her fabric shop, taken that morning. Below it, words that made her stomach drop. Your new husband's made powerful enemies. Enemies who know how to hurt them. Run while you still can, or everyone you love pays the price. Taehyun, Dija said, her voice shaking as she showed him the phone. What is this? Who would threaten my mother? Taehyun's expression went from soft to lethal in an instant. He took the phone, read the message, his jaw clenching. Get dressed, he said, his voice cold in a way she'd never heard. We need to tell Seojun and Miho immediately. Someone just made a very serious mistake. Within 30 minutes, all three brothers were gathered in Seojun's office, their expressions identical masks of cold fury. Dija sat wrapped in a robe, watching them transform from the passionate lovers of last night into the dangerous business heirs everyone feared. It's the Choi family, Seojun said after making several calls, his voice ice. They've been wanting our territory for years. They must think threatening our wife will make us weak, distracted. They're wrong, Miho said flatly. It makes us lethal. My mother, Dija said, her voice breaking. They threatened my mother. She has nothing to do with this. She's innocent. Which is exactly why they targeted her, Taehyun explained, his hand finding Dija's, squeezing. They know we'd burn the world down to protect you, and they know you'd sacrifice yourself to protect your family. So what do we do? Dija asked. You do nothing, Seojun said firmly. You stay here where we can protect you. We handle the Choi family, permanently. I can't just hide while my mother's in danger, Dija protested, standing. You can and you will, all three brothers said simultaneously. This is our world, Miho continued. We know how to navigate it. You don't. If you try to help, you'll only make things worse. Then what was the point of last night? Dija demanded, anger replacing fear. What was the point of claiming me, making me yours, if you're just going to shut me out when things get dangerous? Last night was about making you family, Seojun said, moving to cup her face. And family protects each other. Right now, the best way to protect you is to keep you safe while we eliminate the threat. How? Dija asked. How do you eliminate an entire family? The brothers exchanged dark glances. You don't want to know the details, Taehyun said quietly. Yes I do, Dija insisted. If I'm really your wife, really part of this family, then I deserve to know what you're going to do in my name. Silence stretched. Then Seojun spoke, his voice devoid of emotion. We're going to find everyone involved in threatening you. We're going to make an example of them that's so brutal, so complete, that no one will ever threaten a Park family member again. You're going to kill them, Dija said. All of them. Yes, the brothers confirmed without hesitation. Women too. Children, Dija asked, feeling sick. The Choi organization is mostly men, Miho said. We don't hurt children, ever. That's a line we don't cross. But the men who made this decision, who approved threatening your mother. They're dead men walking. How can you be so calm about murder? Dija asked. Because it's necessary, Seo-jun said simply. In our world, you show strength or you die. The Choi attacked our family. If we don't respond definitively, others will think we're weak. More attacks will come. Your mother, your sister, your father, they'll never be safe. This is how we protect you, Dija. This is what your safety costs. The reality of what she'd married into hit Dija like a physical blow. These men who'd been so gentle with her last night, who'd taken such care with her body, her pleasure, were cold-blooded killers. I think I'm going to be sick, she whispered. Taehyun guided her to a bathroom, held her hair while she vomited, rubbed her back with gentle hands. I know this is hard, he said softly. I know this isn't the life you chose, but it's the life you're in now, and we'll do whatever it takes to keep you safe, even if you hate us for it. I don't hate you, Dija said, wiping her mouth. I'm terrified of you. There's a difference. Fear is honest, Taehyun said. We can work with fear. Hate would destroy us. They returned to the office where Seo-jun was coordinating with his people, speaking rapid Korean into his phone. Miho was on his laptop, tracking something, his expression focused and deadly. Your mother is being moved to a safe house as we speak, Seo-jun said, hanging up. Your father and sister too. They'll be protected by our best people until this is over. Can I call her? Dija asked. Let her know I'm okay. No, Seo-jun said firmly. No contact. The Choi might be monitoring. We can't risk them tracing anything back to the safe house. So I just sit here and do nothing while my family is in danger and you're out committing murder. Dija's voice rose. That's exactly what you do, Seo-jun said, his voice hard, because that's what keeps everyone alive. I hate this, Dija said, tears streaming down her face. I hate feeling helpless. I hate that my choice to save my family put them in more danger. I hate that I gave myself to you last night and now I'm watching you plan to kill people. We know, Miho said, standing and moving to her. But Dija, this threat existed before you married us. The Choi have wanted war for years. They just used you as an excuse. If anything, your presence gives us more motivation to end this permanently. You didn't cause this. You're the reason we'll finally resolve it. How long? Dija asked. How long until it's over? 48 hours, Seo-jun said with certainty. Maybe less. We move fast when family is threatened. The next 2 days were the longest of Dija's life. The brothers left in shifts, never leaving her alone, always ensuring someone was there to guard her. Taehyun stayed the first night, holding her while she cried, reassuring her that her family was safe, that everything would be okay. He told her stories about their childhood, about their mother, trying to help her understand the men she'd married. Miho took the second shift, distracting her with movies and conversation, trying to keep her mind off what was happening in the streets of Seoul. He taught her basic Korean phrases, laughed at her pronunciation, kissed her forehead when the worry became too much. Seo-jun was gone both nights, coordinating the attack. When he finally returned on the third morning, he was covered in blood. Dija gasped, rushing to him. Are you hurt? Oh God, Seo-jun, are you? Not my blood, he said tiredly, stopping her from touching him. It's over. The Choi family is finished. Your family is safe. You're safe. How many? Dija asked. How many people died? 17, Seo-jun said flatly. All men. All directly involved in the organization. We were surgical, precise. No collateral damage. 17 people, Dija repeated numbly. 17 people are dead because of me. No, Seo-jun said firmly, gripping her shoulders. 17 people are dead because they threatened my wife. Because they thought they could attack my family without consequences. Their deaths are on them, not you. He released her, heading toward the bathroom. I need to shower, wash this away. Then we need to talk. After he'd cleaned up, all three brothers gathered with Dija in the living room. They looked exhausted, drained, but also satisfied, like men who'd completed necessary work. The Choi family is extinct, Miho said. Their operations are being absorbed by our allies. Their territory is divided among families loyal to us. Seoul is more stable now than it's been in 5 years. And my family? Dija asked. Safe, Taehyun confirmed. They're back home, under surveillance, but they'll never know it. They think they were in protective custody during a police investigation. They have no idea what really happened. So we just go back to normal? Dija asked. After all this, we just pretend everything is fine. Nothing about this is normal, Seojun said. But yes, we move forward. That's what you do in this life. Handle the threat, protect your own, move forward. I don't know if I can do this, Dija admitted. Live this life knowing what you're capable of, watching you come home covered in blood. You can, the brothers said together. Because the alternative is watching your family die, Miho continued. And we know you'd never choose that. We're not asking you to love what we do, Taehyun added. We're asking you to accept that we do it to protect you, to protect us, to protect the life we're building together. Dija looked at these 3 men who'd become her husbands, her lovers, her protectors, her executioners. She thought about her mother safe in her shop, her father recovering peacefully, her sister planning her future. All possible because these dangerous men had claimed her. Okay, she said finally. I accept it. I don't like it. I might never like it, but I accept that this is who you are, what you do, and I accept that I'm part of this now. Relief flooded all 3 faces. Thank you, Seojun said. For understanding. For staying. I'm not saying I'm staying past the year, Dija warned. The contract still ends in 11 months. A lot can happen in 11 months, Miho said, a slight smile playing at his lips. A lot can change. Like what? Dija challenged. Like you could fall in love with us, Taehyun said simply. Really fall in love, not just accept us. Like we're already falling in love with you. You don't love me, Dija protested, but her voice lacked conviction. We spent the last 48 hours committing murder to protect you, Seojun said. We'd burn down the world to keep you safe. If that's not love, what is? Dija had no answer, because deep down, terrifyingly, she was starting to feel the same way. 6 months later, Dija stood in the same bathroom where she'd gotten sick learning about the Choi massacre, staring at a positive pregnancy test. The contract had been updated, extended indefinitely by mutual agreement. She hadn't returned to Nigeria except for supervised visits with her family. The jade bracelet never left her wrist. She'd become a park in every way that mattered. And now she was carrying their child. She didn't know whose biologically, didn't care. The baby belonged to all 3 of them, created from their love, their passion, their impossible family. Dija, Taehyun's voice came from the bedroom. You okay? She opened the door, held up the test, watched his face transform from concern to joy to something that looked like reverence. We're having a baby, she said. Taehyun pulled her into his arms, held her like she was precious and breakable. Seojun, Miho, he called. Get in here now. Within seconds, all 3 brothers were crowded in the bathroom, staring at the test, at Dija, at their future made real. Grandmother will be so happy, Miho said, tears in his eyes. She's going to survive just out of spite, just to meet our baby. Our baby, Seojun repeated, pulling Dija against his chest. Our wife, our family, everything we never thought we'd have. I love you, Dija said, finally ready to admit it. All 3 of you. I don't know how it happened or when exactly, but I love you. We love you too, they said together. We have since that first night when you crashed into our lives and changed everything. That night they made love again, gentler now, reverent, celebrating the life they'd created, the family they'd become. And Dija realized that sometimes the most insane decisions, the most impossible situations, led to the most extraordinary love. She thought about the girl she'd been 6 months ago, desperate and terrified, signing a contract to save her family. She thought she was sacrificing herself, giving up her future. Instead, she'd found it. These 3 men, identical in face but different in soul, had shown her what it meant to be cherished, protected, loved with an intensity that bordered on obsession. They'd killed for her, fought for her, chosen her over everything else in their lives. And she'd chosen them back. The next morning, Dija woke to sunlight and the sound of voices. She followed them to the kitchen where all 3 brothers were arguing in rapid Korean over breakfast preparations. She's pregnant, she needs protein, Seojun was saying. She's been craving sweet things, Miho countered. We should make. Both of you are wrong, Taehyun interrupted. She needs balance. Protein and something sweet. They all turned when they noticed her in the doorway, identical expressions of concern crossing their faces. Did we wake you? Seo-jun asked. You should be resting. I'm pregnant, not dying, Dija said, laughing. And I can hear you arguing about me from the bedroom. We're not arguing, Miho said. We're discussing. You're arguing, Dija corrected, moving to the table. And for the record, I want eggs and pancakes. Taehyun's right. Balance. The brothers exchanged glances, then all three smiled. See, Taehyun said smugly. I know our wife. Our wife, Seo-jun repeated, like he still couldn't quite believe it. Our pregnant wife, Miho added, wonder in his voice. Dija watched them fall over themselves trying to serve her breakfast, arguing over who got to pour her juice, who got to butter her toast, and felt her heart swell with emotion. This was her family now. These three dangerous, devoted, obsessive men who'd somehow become her everything. Her phone buzzed. A text from her mother. Your father is doing so well, sweetheart. The doctors say he's made a complete recovery. Your sister got accepted into her graduate program. Everything is good here. We miss you, but we're so proud of you. Come visit soon. Dija showed the text to the brothers. You saved them, Seo-jun said softly. By choosing us, you saved your entire family. We saved each other, Dija corrected. You gave me the means to help my family. I gave you a reason to be better men. We're even. We'll never be even, Miho said. You gave us everything. A home, a purpose, a future. There's no repaying that. Then don't try to repay it, Dija said. Just love me. Love our baby. Build this life with me. We can do that, all three brothers said together. And they did. Grandmother Park lived another 2 years, long enough to meet her great-grandson, a beautiful boy with his father's dark eyes and his mother's warm brown skin. She held him once, pronounced him perfect, and died peacefully in her sleep that night, satisfied that the Park line would continue. The brothers mourned her, but also celebrated. She'd given them her blessing, her approval, her love in the end. Dija gave them 2 more children, a daughter and another son, and with each birth, the brothers' devotion only deepened. They were attentive fathers, involved in every aspect of their children's lives, determined to break the cycle of absent parenting that had defined their own childhoods. The business continued, still operating in gray areas, still requiring difficult decisions. But the brothers were more careful now, more thoughtful. They had too much to lose. And through it all, Dija was their center, their home, their constant. She learned Korean fluently, mastered the art of navigating Seoul's social circles, became a force in her own right. The other families learned quickly that threatening Park Dija was a death sentence. She was protected not just by her husbands, but by the entire organization. She never forgot where she came from, though. She opened a foundation supporting African immigrants in Korea, helping families avoid the desperate situations that had led her to sign that contract. Her mother's fabric shop expanded into a successful business with Dija's backing. Her sister became a professor, her father lived to see his grandchildren grow. 10 years after that first terrifying wedding night, Dija stood on the same balcony where Taehyun had first told her she was torturing them, looking out at Seoul's glittering skyline. Strong arms wrapped around her from behind. Seo-jun. What are you thinking about? He asked. About how insane this all is, Dija said. How I married 3 strangers to save my family and somehow found everything I didn't know I needed. Regrets? He asked quietly. Not one, Dija said, turning in his arms to kiss him. Not a single one. Miho and Taehyun joined them on the balcony, drawn by some invisible thread that always pulled them together. The kids are asleep, Miho reported. Finally. All 3, Taehyun added. It only took 2 hours and 4 stories. Dija laughed, looking at these 3 men who were hers, completely and irrevocably hers. I love you, she said. All of you. Thank you for choosing me. We'll choose you every day for the rest of our lives, Seo-jun said. In every life, Miho added. Forever, Taehyun finished. And Dija believed them, because in 10 years, they'd never given her reason not to. Beautiful people, if this story touched your heart, if you felt every emotion alongside Dija, I need you to do something for me right now. First, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another epic romance like this. Second, smash that like button to let me know you want more stories about impossible love and dangerous men who'd burn the world down for the right woman. And third, drop a comment telling me your favorite moment. Was it the wedding night, the Choi massacre, the pregnancy reveal, or the ending? Your engagement means everything and helps us bring you these powerful stories every single day. Thank you for riding this emotional roller coaster with Dija and her triplet husbands. Until next time, remember that sometimes the most terrifying choices lead to the most beautiful destinations. See you in the next story.